Hello! Welcome to White Tarot, where the reader is bubbly, but the readings can get dark. So today I am going to be throwing out a bonus reading for the lucky zodiac sign that my pendulum picks. My pendulum board is kind of crappy because I made this when I first started doing like resin stuff, and I know I can do better with this now. So I'm gonna probably make myself a new one, but for now this is what we got. So we're gonna go with it. All right. Who are we doing a bonus read for? Aries. We're doing a bonus reading for Aries. Is there any keyword that you can give us to help identify or kind of narrow down who this reading is for? O, R, A, N, I think. Come on, amp it up. N, G, E. Orange. So if the word orange resonates with you at all, or maybe it's your favorite color or something, I don't know, then this is for you. Anything else? She's pointing at Monday, so Monday might be significant for you. All right, let's do this. I'm going to pull an archetype card to try to hone things in a little bit, if that makes sense. And if anyone is wondering why I'm actually wearing makeup for once, it is because I have a hot date tonight. No, I don't. I am going to an alumni gathering from my alma mater, and I'm a little bit nervous because I do get kind of shy meeting new people. Um Especially because like the 8 years that I went to that school, I definitely felt a lot of imposter syndrome. Like, I got in honestly, and I did pass my classes honestly, and I graduated with honors, but I still always felt like the dumbest person in the room. So I am so honestly super intimidated about meeting everybody tonight, but we shall see how that goes. Okay. So I figured that the least I could do is try a little bit instead of just rolling out of bed, taking a shower, and letting the air dry my hair. I still let the air dry my hair, but I at least put something on my face. Anyway, um, okay. The box. Okay, so we've got the box. The box, the cage, the rules, the norm. We all live to some degree within the confines of the box. This archetype represents everything that is known, anticipated, and expected. It holds us in place while simultaneously holding us back from our greatest visions. The box is sneaky, insidious, and everywhere, limiting us at the most unconscious levels. It is built of layer upon layer of social constructs and pressures. Breaking through its confines requires awareness, continued effort, and bravery. The box may appear as expectations from parents, a well paying but heartless job, the pressure to look or behave like others, or simply to stay small. There is a box around you now, made of some type of confining thought. What is it? The box shifts and morphs as we grow. This is part of its multi layered nature. Once you break through one layer, another will present itself to you. Keep going. break through. An exquisite life requires it. When light, structure, order, coherence, logic. When dark, limitation, rigidity, judgment, fear. Moving outside the box is exhilarating and expansive, but destabilizing. Others will wonder what you are doing and why. You will too. This is part of the process. Everything within the box is known. Everything outside the box is unknown. That is why it is more comfortable to stay within its walls. Choose freedom. Ear popped as I said that. So, further confirmation. I think it was Aries. When I did the 3 card pulls for all zodiac signs, the limiting belief that I was picking up on there was that because you may have had a sketchy past, maybe you have a criminal history, maybe you've done something that you regret, maybe you made a mistake that hurt someone. The feeling that I was getting was that you are still to this day beating yourself up over it and playing small because of it, hiding because of it, and severely limiting who you are because of it. And the advice that I gave in that reading was that it is okay to heal, grow, and move on, even if you were the bad guy. That doesn't mean that you have to stay in your self imposed prison forever. You are still a human being with a whole life ahead of you, and you deserve love. You deserve a shot at redemption, and you still deserve happiness. It's okay to forgive yourself and move on. So I don't know if that's something that resonates with whoever this is for, but I'm getting a similar vibe. So just putting that out there. That's the advice that I got. Still fresh on my brain. Okay. Alchemy. 1, 2, 3. Vinegar, moon, raven's head. I've seen that card a couple times. Has this popped up for you before? I feel like this has popped up for you before. Raven's head. Through the initiation, the ordeal, the work begins. Though alchemy is filled with a myriad of open ended symbols, the raven's head has a precise message. It arrives to mark the beginning of the work. This card indicates something has occurred, known or unknown, to initiate the spinning of the alchemical wheel. With its mighty churning, things are about to change on every level. The raven's work cannot be undone, just as the pill cannot be unswallowed or the pearl turned back to sand. You may be overwhelmed or think the journey ahead is not for you. Your doubts matter not to the raven, as its appearance signifies it has chosen you. You are ready, and the moment is now. Can you go back to the way things were? Can you pretend nothing has changed? The raven caws a clear no. It does not apologize, as it knows your destiny is great. Um, I'm getting chills as this came to me, but the feeling that I get is that you've been operating in that frame of mind of shame and guilt, and you've been masking that with rage and stoicism, and you've operated that way for a long, long time. But when I read the something has occurred, known or unknown, to initiate the spinning of the alchemical wheel, it felt like somebody turned a flashlight on in a really dark cave. And it's like you saw light for the first time in a long time. You felt something that you haven't felt in a long time. And that triggered you into something new. As in, it's almost like you can't unsee what you already saw or what you just saw. What else did I get? Your doubts matter not to the raven, as its appearance signifies it has chosen you. Ah, that was the other thing. Um, I think the reason why they are really pushing this message, because this has shown up pretty consistently throughout the Aries reads, the reason why they are pushing this hard for you to, for lack of better words, get your head out of your ass, is because what you are meant to do with your life, even if you feel lost right now, is too great for you to not do it. There is something for you that you are meant to do that is too great for you to just stay where you are. You put yourself in a box, in a self imposed prison, over something from long ago. But the reason you're getting the spark now is because you were never meant to stay in that place. Yeah, that's the feeling that I'm getting from this. All right, moon. Mystery, receptivity, intuition. The moon represents the mother of all mysteries. Once a month, it slips into the full spotlight and then quietly disappears, only to initiate the cycle again. Gifting us with the message of impermanence, the moon reminds us we are in constant transition, a continual process of letting go. A continual process of letting go. It is the yin principle, one of listening rather than speaking. This card may indicate a time of rest and restoration is in order, or that a new depth of spiritual practice calls. Dreams and memories may be especially vivid. The gates to the liminal realm have opened. The alchemist's task is to be receptive to its message. Be patient, though, as the moon speaks in the language of symbols, and deciphering its messages takes time and receptivity. Magic is afoot. Sink into it, sweet child. Vinegar. Here we go. Acidity, distillation, memory. The tongue knows vinegar. Even the suggestion of receiving a few drops into the mouth reminds us of vinegar's sour and lip puckering qualities. In alchemy, vinegar serves as an active agent of distillation, fermentation, and preservation. It is incredibly useful when applied in the right amounts and with intention. This said, it can be easily overused, overwhelming the situation at hand. When the vinegar card is present in a reading, it indicates a sour note permeates the laboratory. It is likely something from the past is showing up in the present and demanding our attention. It is in vinegar's nature to take over, to overwhelm. Be cautious with this material. A little goes a long way. As they say, it is productive to look at your past, but not to stare. Such is the complex energy of vinegar. Yup. I don't think I need to further explain that. All right, let's see what the cards got for us. I have a feeling that the message is only going to be kind of repetitive at this point because I feel like the alchemy deck and the whatchamacallit, archetypes deck pretty much covered it, but we shall see. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. We're keeping reversals today. The Tower, the Chariot in reverse. And when I pulled the Chariot, I heard an echo of my own voice saying, getting your head out of your ass. Son of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Eight of Swords, Ace of Wands. Okay, we're seeing a little bit more forward movement here. Okay. Daughter of Swords, Seven of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, Son of Wands in reverse. Got it. Or Father of Wands in reverse. Got it. Okay. I think the Father belongs over here because I feel like it's saying something similar to the Son of Pentacles. Rest is where it needs to be. Okay. Okay. So we've been getting a lot of the Seven of Pentacles in the readings lately. And I think it's something in the air, honestly, where now seems to be a time of for us to reevaluate what it is that we don't want in our lives anymore, or what we do want. And I say that because the Seven of Pentacles is the card of investment. It is a period of contemplation. It is a where do I want to put my pentacles? Because with the Five of Pentacles, it's about loss, but then the Six of Pentacles, it's about your harvest starting to come in. You sowed your seeds and now you're seeing your harvest come in. So the Seven of Pentacles is all right, now that I have a little bit of what I've worked for, where do I want to put it? Where do I want to put the rest of my energy? Where do I want to invest the little of what I have earned? And with the tower being here, the tower feels like, the shakeup that you had, whatever it was. Hi, Casper. So, anyway, the tower feels like there was a shakeup in your life or there was something that shook you. It feels like it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, it was just something that shed light on some feelings that you haven't had in a long time. It was a jolt to your system, basically. And then with the Chariot in reverse, Son of Pentacles in reverse, the Father of Wands in reverse. See, the Chariot is about inaction. It's failure to launch. And the Son of Pentacles, though, is about he's depicted as a solitary, kind of shy character in this deck. And the Father of Wands is someone that's a little impulsive, maybe aloof but passionate. Um, and this feels simultaneously like you lost your spark for a period of time. You lost your sense of identity for a period of time, but also like in that period of time you reevaluated what your identity is based on. um what I'm getting is it's almost like a what parts of me are built from trauma versus what parts of me are really truly who I am. It feels like a period of self-evaluation. It also feels like there are parts of your personality that you want to ditch. I say that because with the Ace of Swords being here, the Ace of Swords is about truth. It is re-emerging with truth. It feels like a eureka moment. So you come out of this period of time after the Tower and you have a eureka moment. And then we have the Ace of Swords, or the Eight of Swords. And the Eight of Swords is, for me, it's kind of the growing under pressure card. I know that in the traditional deck, it means kind of the stuckness, the stuck energy, this confined, constricted energy, kind of like how the box was with the archetypes deck. But the way that it's depicted as a chrysalis surrounded by swords, yes, that chrysalis is stuck there because, I mean, it can't reemerge too soon or it's going to come out as goo, and it can't emerge too late because then it'll get stuck in there and die. So it's almost like it's in a situation that's very pressurized, but it's going through a process that does take time. So it feels like a growing under pressure card. And with that, I'm hearing that it's okay to take your time. It's okay to take your time because that pressure is self-imposed. Perhaps there's something going on in your mind where it's like, maybe you're older and you feel like you don't have any time left, or maybe you're there's peer pressure involved, or maybe there's people around you that keep trying to push you to make a decision one way or another, but you need the time and the space to actually turn inward and make the right decision. And that decision has to come from you, and it has to come from a genuine place. And going through this almost sort of like identity rehaul, or overhaul. What's a rehaul? I think I mixed it up with the word recall. But anyway, going through your little identity overhaul, this is something that you just can't rush, because right now what's going on is you're kind of recreating yourself into a version of yourself that you want to be. And figuring that out takes time, especially if I'm reading this right. And this is for the Aries collective that I read for in the 3 card pulls that are carrying guilt and shame for past mistakes. Because, like I said briefly, I didn't have much time to talk about it in that video, but like I said briefly, even the reason why people make themselves out to be the victim after bad things happen in their life is because it's easier to be the victim than it is to be the aggressor or the person that did the harm. But the reality is that either side that you're on, there is a need to turn inward, to self reflect, to figure your ish out and heal and grow from it and do better the next time, because life, it goes on. We only have so much time in life, and we don't know how much time we have. So it's like, okay, sure, you might be feeling guilty, you might be feeling shame, but when you think about how much time you have left or how much time you could have left, it's almost like, why are you putting yourself in a self-imposed prison? And it's almost like there's this stigma that if you make one mistake and you hurt somebody, that you have to sit in that forever. You don't have to keep like pushing your own face into the doo-doo on the carpet to prove a point. You don't have to keep punishing yourself for the same thing forever. You get to move on. You get to grow. You get to heal, and you get to be loved. You get to be happy. That's something that I don't think we talk about enough. It's easy to console the victim and be like, "Oh, you can heal and you can be strong and you can move on. It'll be okay. You'll find the right one next time." But what about when you were the one that messed up? I feel like that hurts more, because there is no excuse and there is no other thing to point the finger at. If you are honest with yourself, there's no other thing to point the finger at but yourself. And there's nothing more painful than that, because then you feel like you're a bad person and you have to sit in the bad dog corner forever. But that's not true. It's okay to forgive yourself, whether or not the other person can forgive you, whether or not the thing that you hurt can forgive you. And it's not even for the sake of like twisting the narrative and being like, "Oh, I was a good guy after all." It's a matter of you get to be happy because you're a human being and you have your whole life ahead of you. Maybe you might get hit by a car and die tomorrow, who knows? But the point is, life is transient. You're not really meant to stay stuck anywhere. The whole point of existence is to experience as much as you can. And so, whether it be staying somewhere that, kind of makes you feel safe and secure, but is a little bit toxic or harmful to you in some way, or whether it be staying in a toxic relationship, whether it be sitting in your guilt and shame, we aren't meant to stay stuck, because that only inhibits us from having future experiences. We're just meant to experience as much as we can. Um, and with that, we have the Ace of Wands and the Daughter of Swords. The Ace of Wands is about fresh, new action, passion. It's about initiation. So it feels like when you are ready to emerge from this chrysalis, you're finally going to choose happiness. No matter what the story was yesterday, no matter what the last chapter said. And that's great. With the Daughter of Swords to me is the swords are about communication and thought. And the Daughter of Swords, it's very air sign energy, but the Daughter of Swords, it comes with a little more compassion. It's a little bit more from the heart. And having it here, along with the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups is about unmasking or illusions or confusion. And it feels like in your thinking, I can't express this without it getting really abstract, but in your thinking, when you start to incorporate a little more heart, come from a place a little more from the heart, that's when you will start to see things clearly. And once you start to see things more clearly and you start to pursue the things that make you happy, basically, once you move past the shame and the guilt and whatever it is that's holding you back, the Nine of Pentacles is about happiness with yourself. That's when you achieve inner peace. Because for me, the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups is basically as far as you can get on your own. That's as far as you can get on your own, as far as happiness goes, to me at least. What this is going to lead you to is contentment with yourself. It's almost like you may have always lived a solitary life, but there was always a part of you that felt empty in that, or like something was missing. This change, this growth is more internal than external, to be honest with you. It's about overcoming yourself. It's about stepping outside of your box in your own mind and reframing things and owning your past, owning your potential, owning yourself, and daring to live for happiness again. And you get to be happy. See? I love how dramatically that came out. Ah, we have the Hierophant for the final card. The Hierophant represents Taurus in the deck, but also it represents a spiritual teacher. It represents higher knowledge, deeper wisdom, the path of spirituality. So perhaps once you achieve the Nine of Pentacles, you decide to pursue further education, to maybe you figure out what you want to do with your life and you decide to go back to school, or you decide to master a craft of some sort, or you pursue a spiritual path and you get deeper into the path of spiritual growth. Yeah, this path is for you. It's not about what anyone else wants from you. It's not about expectations. It's not about what you think you ought to do or what you think you ought to feel or how you think you ought to be. It's about what do you want? What jolted your system? And it's a reminder that no matter what kind of life you've lived before this, it's always okay on just a random Tuesday to decide for yourself who you'd rather be and how you want to live your life. Life is meant to be experienced. It's not a linear track. It's meant to be explored. It's a journey. It's a story. So it's always okay to change your mind. It's always okay to just suddenly decide that you want to do things differently. I think we covered it. So, whoever this was for, I wish you the best of luck and good for you. This doesn't look like an easy journey, but you'll make it and you'll be better for it. Okay? Well, if you liked what you saw here today, please feel free to like, share, comment to help me out with the algorithm, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you get notified every time I post a video. And I will see you in the next one.